What's going on, guys? Today's gonna be a little bit of a different day. I had a little bit of a rough start this morning. A couple reasons, I guess. One, it's so silly, but we got some comments that just weren't gravy, so I kind of just was thrown off. And some other things have been going on, but I figured why try to pretend to be really happy and excited and just feel what I feel. Sometimes it's easy to want to kind of hide behind this feeling of like, hey, everything's great, how you doing? I'm great, but that's not always the case, and there's nothing wrong with that. Today we're doing a bunch of ramen stuff, and I had a lot of fun with this, but I wanted to show you guys the process of what it was like just to have ideas in my head and then try to execute them right on camera. So I made lots of mistakes. The first thing was this Ramen Poutine, which ended up being freaking awesome. Basically just took some eggs and some one egg, a little bit of ramen noodles, and I put it on some tin foil and kind of made it into a square. And I covered that and I froze it for a few hours until it was nice and solid. Open it up, and then you just give it a cut. You just kind of cut fries out, and the longer you let it sit, the easier it will be. Because like when I took them out, it was still a little soft. I could have used a little longer, but it worked. Then I just took them, threw them in some oil. And poutine, if you don't know, it's Canadian. It's basically cheese curds, gravy, and fries, and it's one of the best things I've ever had. I had it in Canada recently. So all you do is you fry them up on both sides so they get crispy, and they look kind of like French fries. Also, someone said they kind of look like fingers, which you'll see in a minute because I posted it to Instagram. But yeah, so I got these and just patted them dry, add a little salt, and then the cheese curds. If you don't have cheese, you can use like mozzarella cheese. If you don't have the cheese curds, and then just glorious, delicious gravy. And I didn't know what this one was going to be like. I thought it might be too much. I had a little scallions for greenness, you know, because why not? But I thought it would be like way too much, and it actually ended up being extremely delicious. I had my roommate try it, and she's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Ramen poutine, give it a taste. Sometimes the food, it's all we got to feel good, you know? So there's some days where it's like, I just want to eat a good meal and make me feel good. Ramen Scallion Pancake. This one was another mistake that ended up going great. Basically, I took some egg. I took ramen noodles, like one packet of ramen basically to one egg. I added a little milk, and I added the ramen seasoning. Initially, I was going to try to make ramen buns like in a different way, but I blended it up and just kind of got it into a smooth batter. Not super smooth, like I still wanted to have the chunkiness because I thought that would look nice, but I didn't want the full ramen chunks. So then I just took some oil in my little miniature egg pan. Probably would have made sense to use a bigger pan in hindsight, but no big deal. Fried up some scallions and just add the egg mixture in. If you haven't had the scallion pancake, it's also called Chinese pancake sometimes. It is amazing. They make it in Chinese restaurants around here, and it's just a great little appetizer to have. But this ended up being one of my favorites in terms of simplicity and flavor. I actually ate most of it. I was like, this is freaking delicious. Look at that beautiful egg, right? It's just beautiful. And then kaboom, I made two of them. I got two big ones, and you could top it with soy sauce, you could add meat to it, whatever you really wanted to. It was just so great. Yeah. And mozzarella sticks. I was pissed because I was just, I don't know, making mistakes that day. I had to give myself the finger. But then I gave myself the thumbs up because I did a good job. So this one was another interesting one because I took the mozzarella sticks and I took some flour and I kind of put them in the flour first because I figured that would help with the batter. So I took an egg, I beat the egg up, and I was like, okay, let's just put that in, put the egg in. So you do the flour and then the egg, get it kind of coated. You'll see it sticks nicely. But then I struggled a little bit because I just mashed up those ramen and they weren't really sticking. I was like, this isn't really what I'm hoping for. So I had to think fast. So I blended up a bunch of ramen. And once I had that all blended up, like just the dry stuff, then I sprinkled that on. And the mixture of the blended ramen plus the crushed ramen, now we're talking. Ramen Corn Dog. Just beat it up. Here's another one where I had laid out a lot of mistakes. Basically took some milk and an egg, and I took some baking powder because I'm making this like corn dog batter, and I added some flour. I want to show you like when I just added kind of a couple teaspoons. Actually, they were tablespoons, and I sort of mixed them around, and then I added cornmeal. But I was trying to really figure out a good batter because I wanted it to like stick to it but not be too thick, so I'm adding more milk in. And it's just a good way to learn how to feel what a batter should be like. So it's like, okay, it's a little too thick, add in some milk, a little too thin, you know, add in some flour, you kind of go back and forth, and then I just shoved a chopstick up this hot dog's butt, and I added some more flour because I was like, I still think it's a little bit too thin. Then I kind of painted it on, and here's where things sort of got ahead of me. I took the ketchup and I took the chicken flavoring. I probably should use beef, but chicken was great too. And just mixed those two. I wanted a sauce that was like the ultimate umami MSG mother everything sauce. So I mixed that together. And then I started to fry it, and I was like, well, first off, wrong frying pan to use the stick trick. So I had to take that out because it didn't work. And then you notice, like, it's just, and there it goes. And I was just like, I'm screwed. But as I'm doing this, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even add ramen to this. I forgot. So now I'm like trying it again. Took the hot dog, added flour to the hot dog first this time, then dipped it into the batter, and then I put the ramen on. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm actually thinking, because the first time I clearly wasn't thinking at all. So I dropped that in. You can just hear the sizzle. It's just a beautiful sizzle, right? And just frying. Ramen coconut shrimp. This is probably one of my favorites. I keep saying that, but this one was surprisingly delicious. Just took an egg and some flour and a little bit of water because I'm making another batter. If you notice, pretty much all these are fried, but I think it's okay when you're cooking with ramen, you're having some fun. So I made a batter. I wanted it to be thin, but I also wanted to add that seasoning packet. So I took a shrimp ramen, add the seasoning, flour, water, and a little bit of egg. And then I took flour, coconut, and ramen crushed up and sort of mix that together for like the other breading. So basically you're taking the shrimp, which is already in a little bit of flour, and then you're adding it to the batter, then you're covering it in this coconut ramen-y floury mixture. So when I fry it, everything's gonna stick together, it's gonna get crispy, you're gonna get the crispy ramen and the delicious coconut. Even if you don't do the ramen, coconut shrimp is amazing, but the ramen just added that extra crunch. Ramen's great for like a breading, you know? Just do the breading. And this one was a win, you know, it was a long day and I was really feeling like I gave it a win, so I felt good about that. And you know, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm just a human, and sometimes I pretend because I'm on YouTube that I have to be like really happy and excited all the time, but some days I'm just not. Usually I am. I'm a happy person. I do a lot of stuff that I love, and I am legitimately like happy. I love my life. But some days are tough, and I didn't want to fake it. I just couldn't today, and I was like, I could put the video off, but it's a good opportunity just to share how I feel. Maybe you relate to this. If you like this video, you know, you can subscribe and you can click like and all that stuff. But if you relate to this, think about it. You know, it's okay not to pretend. If you feel like you're not being yourself that day, you're not happy, try sharing with a friend. Be amazed how many people feel lonely and sad sometimes, but they're too afraid. They feel like they need to be like, oh, everything's great all the time. But sometimes you just share, be like, listen, today's not a good day. And if you got a real good friend, they're gonna listen. Maybe they're going to cheer you up, or they're going to relate, and it's going to be a good thing. And then you'll start feeling better because you're like, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that gets ridiculed or feels down on themselves. It's just life. Much love.